Welcome to Space Matrix. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. For over a century, Coca-Cola has been more than just a beverage. It's been a cherished symbol of American life, deeply woven into the fabric of family gatherings, movie theaters, and sporting events. It has been a constant presence, a familiar friend at every celebration and a staple in American culture. The iconic red and white logo, which was born in America and became a global symbol, is now leaving its homeland behind, marking the end of an era. The catalyst for this monumental decision: a new 50% tariff on imported aluminum, championed by President Trump's administration, which has dramatically altered the economic landscape for many industries. The sudden and steep spike in aluminum costs made Coca-Cola's U.S. business model unsustainable, forcing the company to reevaluate its operations and future in the country. After months of intense review and failed negotiations, the company realized that staying would mean facing crippling financial losses, a risk they could not afford to take. The news has left Americans stunned and in disbelief, asking themselves, how did we get here? How did an American icon reach this point of no return? This is more than just a business story. It's a cultural earthquake, a powerful lesson in how quickly things can change in the world of economics and politics. As trucks make their final deliveries and bottling plants wind down operations, an era ends with a crash, not a whisper, leaving a void in the American landscape. The empty shelves where Coke once proudly stood will serve as a daily reminder of this monumental shift, a testament to the changing tides of industry and commerce. The story of why this happened involves a complex interplay of economics, politics, and the humble aluminum can that ultimately tipped an American icon over the edge, reshaping the narrative of a beloved brand. To truly understand Coca-Cola's drastic move, we first need to explore the concept of tariffs and how they impact global businesses. A tariff is essentially a tax placed on goods that are brought into a country from abroad. It's a tool governments use to influence trade. By making foreign products more expensive, tariffs encourage businesses and consumers to choose American-made goods instead, supporting local industries and jobs. The main goal is to protect domestic industries from overseas competition, but the real-world effects are often far more complicated than they seem at first glance. For companies that rely heavily on imported materials, like Coca-Cola, which needs aluminum for its cans, tariffs can mean a sudden spike in production costs. These companies then face a tough choice: either absorb the financial loss themselves, which can hurt profits, or pass those higher costs on to consumers by raising prices. The new aluminum tariff, designed to help U.S. producers, ended up hurting companies that depend on global supply chains, making it harder for them to compete. Tariffs always create winners and losers. One factory may thrive and expand, while another is forced to close its doors, leaving workers without jobs. The decision to impose a tariff is a high-stakes gamble for lawmakers, one that can reshape entire industries and affect millions of lives. In Coca-Cola's case, what seemed like a simple tax on aluminum triggered a complex and painful chain reaction throughout the company and the industry. The ripple effects of this decision are just beginning to be felt, and the full impact may take years to unfold. The 50% aluminum tariff is a pillar of President Trump's America First policy. The aim: protect U.S. industries from foreign competition and revive American manufacturing. By making imported aluminum costly, the administration hoped to force companies to buy American, reopen smelters, and create jobs. But critics warn this aggressive protectionism disrupts supply chains and raises costs for everyone. Coca-Cola's exit is now the most visible consequence of this high-risk strategy. Aluminum cans are the backbone of Coca-Cola's U.S. business. Billions of cans are produced each year, making aluminum a critical cost. The U.S. doesn't produce enough aluminum, so Coca-Cola relies on imports. The new tariff instantly inflated costs, making each can significantly more expensive. Absorbing the cost would erase profits, passing it to consumers would drive them away. Neither option was sustainable. The aluminum can, once a symbol of convenience, became a financial anchor. The company concluded it could no longer operate profitably in America. The tariff turned their core product into a liability, forcing an exit. Coca-Cola's sudden departure from the market triggers a painful ripple effect across the entire economy, sending shockwaves through communities and industries that once relied on its presence. Tens of thousands of jobs vanish overnight. Factory workers, truck drivers, sales representatives, and countless others find themselves without work, facing an uncertain future. Countless businesses, from bustling ad agencies to local suppliers, suddenly lose their biggest and most dependable client, forcing them to cut costs, reduce staff, or even shut down entirely. For some, the loss is fatal. Layoffs and closures follow swiftly, leaving families and communities grappling with the fallout. Retailers lose a major draw, watching customers turn away from empty shelves, while restaurants scramble to renegotiate or replace exclusive contracts that once guaranteed steady sales. Consumers too feel the loss. Coke, a familiar comfort in homes and gatherings, is suddenly no longer an option, leaving a void in daily routines and traditions. The absence of such a dominant product doesn't just affect shelves, it changes the landscape for everyone, from the way stores look to the choices people make. The empty shelf becomes a daily, visible reminder of economic turmoil and the fragility of supply chains. The interconnectedness of the economy means that one major policy decision can set off a chain reaction, disrupting industries far beyond the original source. Workers, businesses, and everyday citizens all feel the impact as uncertainty spreads and confidence in the future is shaken. The consequences are far-reaching and painful, touching every corner of society and leaving a lasting mark on the economic landscape. Coca-Cola isn't shutting down, it's pivoting globally. The company is redirecting resources to high-growth regions like Asia, Latin America, and Africa. These markets offer opportunity and fewer barriers, making business more predictable. Investments once earmarked for the US now build new facilities abroad. Aggressive marketing and new products tailored to local tastes are rolling out. The crisis has forced Coca-Cola to diversify and innovate faster than ever. The company is positioning itself as a total beverage leader worldwide. The US exit is painful, but Coca-Cola frames it as necessary evolution. The future is global, with America conspicuously absent from the map. Coca-Cola's exit leaves a deep cultural and economic scar. Public reaction is a mix of anger, disbelief, and mourning for lost jobs and identity. The debate rages. Is this a necessary sacrifice for American industry or a catastrophic policy failure? Supporters say pain is temporary and will rebuild US manufacturing. Critics call it a warning for other global companies. The beverage market is in flux, with competitors scrambling and the government under pressure to respond. Coca-Cola's departure will be studied as a pivotal moment in economic history. The story is a stark reminder. Decisions in Washington can have profound, unforeseen consequences. The shelves are empty, and the future remains uncertain.